At the legendary guitarist Steve Vai's song, Tend to Surrender. If you know the song, and you want to jam along with it, I want to give you the basic concepts if you're relatively new to guitar. The song is largely based in E minor pentatonic, and later there's a C note thrown in, which is the sixth interval of the E major scale. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, check my channel, Mike the Brain 5538. On YouTube, where I explain to you how intervals are derived. And the other concept with this song, I want to explain to you that the whole solo of this, when you watch the live version of Steve Vai performing it, is all the notes of E minor pentatonic, just being repeated all over the show, and in fancy sort of combinations. Watch Steve do that like a magician, but you can get into it pretty quickly. But I want to focus on octaves. So I'm playing the 7th fret of the A string, the E note, and the octave, which is located a whole tone away, but skipping a string on the G string at the 7th fret, so 7th to 9th fret. And I'm playing it like that. Play across the G string, you need to compensate a half step. Therefore, I'm using my pinky. Because of the tuning of a guitar in standard tuning, E to A is in 4th, A to D is in a 4th, D to G is in a 4th, and then G to B is a major 3rd interval, and then the B string to the E string is in a perfect 4th interval again. So therefore, when you cross the G string, when you skip that string, you need to compensate. So there's a D and there's a D. I chose this song because it gives you great opportunity to practice these little movements. And you notice when Steve Vai plays, he sticks his middle finger up like that. He's obviously comfortable for his anatomy, but you can play it however you like. You can play it like that as well. And I know some guys who play the octave like that. Skip 2 strings, E there, and an E on a B, E and an A string and a B string. But the song is played by Steve like this. But I do it my way. And as I said, whatever's comfortable for you and works. Now, on plain octaves, note that the tip of the finger mutes the E string, and the flesh of the pointer finger mutes the D strings, because you don't want it sounded. I'm really sounding the A string and the G string only. And the notes of E minor pentatonic are simply E, G, A, B, and D, which in intervallic terms, and check my channel out if you don't know what I mean by interval names, because I've got lessons on intervals and how they're derived with reference to the major scale. The major scale being the root of all Western music. All scales and modes are based on it. So you got the intervals: 1, flat 3, 4, perfect 5th, flat 7th. That's minor pentatonic. 1, flat 3rd, 4th, 5th, flat 7th, root. That's in position 1. Now the Rosetta Stone 1, as I call it, of playing lead guitar and understanding the fretboard is knowing the 5 available positions of the minor pentatonic scale. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check my channel out and search 5 positions of minor pentatonic scale, so you'd really get to know it. Because the entire solo of the song is played predominantly in the notes of minor pentatonic, and I notice Steve chucks in that C note, which is the 6th interval of the E major scale, but played over the. You'll hear it when he plays, and he uses a lot of tapping and 3 notes per string, minor pentatonic. Mistake. At least you know when Steve looked like he's being magical on the guitar, it's actually simpler than you think. Tapping is actually not that complex. You might have heard a little few notes of the song there. So my root of these octaves is where my pointer finger is. E, a D, a B, a G, an A. A E, a D, a B, a G, a E. And that's it. Now once you get these feelings and these you're going to put the record on, or your YouTube recording, whatever you got, your CD, and I reckon you'll be playing along with the song pretty quickly. You see, I'm using a position of E minor pentatonic here, which is not position 1. I'm using position 2 and 3 in that case. But that's for you to go work out once you get to know the positions. Good luck, and I hope you enjoyed this. Cheers.